Shalom Yasharallah. This is Yeshaya with a Car Chronicle. On this one, I wanted to discuss the fact that, and as an Israelite, I think I can safely say this for a lot of Israelites, that a lot of brothers in this faith are just as bad as Christians when it comes down to ignoring scriptures. The difference is the scriptures they ignore, if they paid attention to the scriptures that they actually ignore, they would have to believe something different. The scriptures that we ignore, it's like we teach them in consistency, right? But we tend to gloss over them really a lot. And if we paid more attention to those scriptures, it's not that it would have us believing differently. It would change the way we move towards one another. And that's what I'm getting at. Ultimately, when you read the Bible, when you read the scriptures, Israel should be more brotherly, should be more patient, shouldn't be condescending towards each other. You know, temperance, mercy, meekness. These are things that we read about, we talk about, but we don't really practice it. And I think that if we practice these things, right, if we had love towards one another, if we had mercy towards one another, we wouldn't be fighting over camp spots. We wouldn't be over here saying, oh, these men in this video are trained professionals, and if you're not part of this, you're not part of the truth. Or if these elders are not in your building, you're in the wrong building. All types of stupid shit, honestly. All types of stupid shit. A lot of Israelites are really just stupid. I'm sorry. And that's not stupid that you lack knowledge, it's that you ignore knowledge. Unless you are merciful, if mercy is currency, right? And this is just an example. If mercy is currency and you don't have mercy, where do you expect mercy to come from? If you're not a forgiving person, how do you expect to be forgiven? How's that a balance of life? Because the world and life and everything balances itself out, right? Because the Lord has it that way. The Lord has the world balanced and everything, in his perfect balance. Man upsets the balance. How do you not have mercy, but you expect the Lord to have mercy on you? That make no sense. When you make a mistake, when you do something wrong, or you do something that brothers disagree with, you want them to Matthew 18 you, right? But then when you think somebody else is wrong, you go to YouTube and curse them the fuck out. What sense do that make? You can't ask for something that you're not capable of. You want the Lord to have mercy, right? You want the Lord to forgive you, but you're not a forgiving person yourself. And listen, the stuff you're going to have to learn to forgive in its truth is otherworldly shit. Like, it's going to be some real strong offenses that you're going to have to learn how to forgive. And honestly, forgiving gives you more peace of mind. I've learned to forgive people, man. You just look at life through their perspective, right? Like, perfect examples. I have a ex, fairly recent, my last relationship. And I could be hateful and I wouldn't be wrong, right? I could curse her out, call her names, and I wouldn't be wrong because she was very rude, very selfish, right? But then when you really think about it, I looked at life as best as I can through her eyes, right? She's been through a lot of shit, domestic violence and all that. You know, her children seeing it. You know, and you gotta realize, like, yo, some people just are incapable of, you know what I mean, moving on from the things that have happened to them. You know, and some people are traumatized and it breeds bad behavior. This is a woman that's probably equally as or more educated than me. Her formal education. Very intelligent. But you couldn't tell by talking to her because she does not act like it. She doesn't sound like it. But she really is a very intelligent woman. But, you know, a very scorned woman. Woman that has been wronged so much that she didn't know when she had it good. You know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, you know, it caused our relationship to fuck up. You know, but I forgive her. I forgive her. Because, you know, at the end of the day, you step out in this world and you see all the hurt that humans do to humans, especially Israelite black and brown people do to each other. And you can't help but to be compassionate. Because a lot of those victims are the rude females, the bad females. The ones that you think are just ain't shit. And a lot of them really ain't shit. And that's why you feel bad for them. A lot of them ain't shit because they're traumatized. Trying to be somebody's something, you know what I mean? Trauma's not an easy thing to deal with. A lot of these men are traumatized by women. You know, like a lot of the things that came of the destruction of black and brown people came as a result. It came to cause the result that you see the trauma that we're dealing with today. The broken families. Now, because our families were forcefully broken, now it's that easy for us to break up a family. Now it's that easy for a man to lay down. It used to be very difficult for a man to leave his wife, his woman. Now it's like, oh, whatever, on to the next one. We literally say on to the next one. You have women out here saying what one man won't do, another man will. You know, like we pretty much are traumatized. And think about the truth, right? We come into this truth. We're all traumatized men and women coming into this faith, and we're reading and understanding, okay, this is the way we're supposed to be. But for some reason, we don't get that it starts with us. We have to learn to be merciful. We have to learn to love one another. Because if we don't, who wants black and brown people to love each other? Who wants black and Hispanic people and Native American people to love each other, love themselves, and know that they're Israel? No heathens do, that I know of. The heathens like their champagne and their caviar and medium rare steaks and shit. They know that once we come in power, all the finest of things are going to go to us. So that's just what it is, you know? We're a traumatized people. And us Israelites are some of the most traumatized souls in the world. And we brought it into the faith. We say we put off the new, we're a new man when we come in this faith, right? Every holy day we read about becoming a new man, especially Passover. Oh, a little bit of leaven leavened the whole lump. Well, guess what? Your anger demons, your hatred, that's leaven too. That's about as bad as any doctrine. Because now you're telling Israelites, hey, be mean, be cold, don't forgive. Well, telling us to be that way, you might as well tell us to eat swine, to do evil. Because these things are just as, like, well, I'm not going to say just as bad, but they serve to further us away from God, from, you know, and I'm saying God because I'm speaking to the people that don't know. They keep us far from the Most High too. We need to be more loving, more forgiving. I'm not saying soften the way you teach. I'm not saying don't be strong about, I'm not saying don't stand strong. I'm saying stand strong, but be balanced, be merciful. You know, because otherwise we're out here doing nothing. We're not out here, we're ineffective. All this camp and all this, you know, all this work that we're doing, right? We're giving all diligence. But how diligent are we when it comes down to showing love and mercy? Because the way Israelites show love and mercy is weird, man. The way Israelites show love is by jumping in front of a camera, calling a guy a bitch-ass nigga about 100 times, wishing death on his family, and saying, oh, this is just to correct you. No, it ain't. No, it ain't. That's not love. That's not love. Oh, love is keeping the commandments. Well, guess what? Keeping the commandments is also caring about me as you do yourself. That's a commandment too, ain't it? So where's that at? What's up with that commandment? We don't want to keep the commandments that y'all think is corny. Oh, love. Oh, that's some Christian shit. We don't deal with love. That's pretty much the attitude that Israelites have towards it. You know, a lot of people don't think that we are balanced and that we love. They think that we're fucking mean. You know, not just mean, but just cold and callous. I mean, yes, there are times where cold and callous comes in handy. You know, but that's not something that you're supposed to live with. You're not supposed to be a cold and callous person. We're not out there teaching because we're cold and callous. Paul was not cold and callous. Paul said, for I could wish that myself were accursed from Christ from my brethren, my kinsmen, according to, you know how much love that is in that phrase alone? Because if you don't see that as love, then you don't know what the fuck love is. You don't know what love is, man. You know, but with that, I think I made my point, Lord willing. You know, Israelites, we just gotta do better, man. Don't be like Christians ignoring scriptures in the Bible that tell you to do something or be a certain way. You know? But with that, I'm gonna say shalom.